Well, Jacob, welcome back to Crabble. What's it like to be back?
It's refreshing. I remember from last season the fans were very welcoming, and I just loved it last season despite the results and everything, and especially under Jake. But the fans were so welcoming. Obviously the staff and everyone around the club are all always lovely and welcoming. So yeah, it's been brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you left in the summer. Everyone remembers you last season. Why did you decide to leave? Was it because you wanted to play at the highest level? Obviously, you had the chance to play in the National League South.
Yeah, so it's throughout my career, I've had more experienced pros and stuff tell me you've always got to play the highest level you possibly can. So I wanted to explore options higher and see if I could keep that level high. And I tried to, but it didn't really work out. So. I'll always continue to hold myself in a professional manner, and give my best. I'll never slack or anything, despite coming down the level or anything. But yeah, I just wanted to keep that level high.
Yeah, and you were at Welling, so just tell us a little bit about your time at Welling. I know it was quite brief, but just tell us.
Yeah. So I played pre-season, 3 pre-season games. I played Cray Valley. That was my first initial time with the club, and then I played Ebbsfleet and Sutton, and then that led into the season. I initially went there because of the assistant manager Kevin Watson, because he's a brilliant coach, and he was really good to me with my time there, even though it was brief. But the manager, for whatever reason, it just didn't click between us two. So you got to move on.
I mean, obviously last season you were captain of this team, and it was a difficult one, wasn't it? A very difficult campaign. The club finished bottom of the league, got relegated, 2 relegations in 3 seasons. It must have been a difficult one, that, for you, captaining a side that was struggling to get results.
Yeah. I mean, every season has its hurdles and everything, but last season was tough in terms of results and everything. And the thing is, I did feel for the boys, because sometimes we got unlucky with results, and it wasn't even like we were getting battered. It would be by the odd goal, and that was more frustrating than anything, because you think we're still in the game here. We need to just nick a goal or two, but it just wasn't meant to be. And I do feel for all the boys that were here last season, because no one wanted that to happen. No one would slack in games, or everyone took care of themselves, but we were just missing something, and I'm not sure what that was. But it was tough, but there was still an element of togetherness, and it was tough, but it wasn't meant to be.
Now, fast forward to this season, obviously top of the table, cracking start to the season. It's sort of chalk and cheese, isn't it? Tell us how it compares to last season. I know you've only been here 5 minutes back here, but how does it compare?
I definitely think that as much as I said there was a togetherness last season, it does feel just more authentic this season. Everyone's getting involved. There's no cliques or anything. It's a good blend of lads this season, and the feel amongst the club, it just feels much more relaxed, less tense, and heading in the right direction.
Can you tell me what you've observed from watching the game so far in terms of the defence? I mean, at the start of the season, we struggled to keep clean sheets. We kept a clean sheet against Potter's Bar in that mad 8-0 win.
Oh, yeah.
But then although we were winning games, we weren't keeping clean sheets. But now, actually, we are keeping clean sheets on a more consistent basis. So what have you observed from what you've seen?
Yeah, I think it's solid. Everyone's got a partnership together. So the left-sided centre-back has a partnership with the left-back, so on and so forth, centre-back, right back. And everyone seems on the same page, and the communication does seem like it's clicking. I have to say, yeah, it does look good.
I mean, Folkestone, just beating Folkestone, obviously that's a game that everyone wants to win. You were there, you came on at the end. What was it like being part of that?
It was brilliant, because obviously I wasn't here for the fixture at home, but I heard from a few of the boys it was tough, and it was we need to get one on them, get one back on them. So especially with the travelling fans and everything, it was absolutely brilliant. The atmosphere was unbelievable, and especially after the game, like you can see the passion from the fans and the players also, and that's what really matters. And I truly know how much that matters to the fans now. And it was brilliant. It was a brilliant night, brilliant win as well.
Yeah, I mean, the crowd was just shy of 3,000, although I understand a load got in for free, so it probably was 3,000 there, to be fair. But you know, that sort of atmosphere, that's what you want to be involved in as a footballer, and it just shows you the potential of this club. I know it's at Folkestone, but actually Dover took over 1,000 fans there.
Yeah, 100%. That's what I was saying to a couple of the boys the other night. I was saying I do miss the atmospheres like this, because it's nothing compares. That feeling that you have, like especially after a 1-0 win away, that feeling that you have doesn't compare. Like it's an unbelievable feeling, and I hope that we have that moving forward in every game. But I understand that the Folkestone game, that means a little bit more.
Now, obviously, last season you were at the club when Jake came in. Obviously, very difficult to turn that situation around at the time. But tell us about Jake, your relationship with him and the other coaches as well.
Yeah, Jake's brilliant. He's always like treated everyone fairly, and I appreciate that. Even when it comes to myself, like if I need some sort of like treatment that is fair and not like specific, like I don't know, good treatment separate to everyone else. Like that, I appreciate that so much more, because you know that everyone's going to get a fair shot at like chances and just the way that you deal with people. And I think his man management is really good. That's something that I realised when he came in last season, and it was a breath of fresh air, to be honest. Like to have someone who deals with people like quite fairly. Because recently, through like my history, I've seen certain things and seen the way that people, like managers, deal with players and stuff. But no, I think Jake's a brilliant coach. I think Mike's brilliant. Once again, exactly the same. It's like carbon copy of Jake. Deals with people absolutely brilliantly and fairly. And I thought they were brilliant last season. It's just a shame because for whatever reason, I don't know whether it was personnel or maybe a system or something, but they tried their hardest and it didn't happen. And it was the same with the players on the pitch. Like, you can't fault their effort, but it was tough. And this season, it just seems like it's been flipped on its head, and it's everything's working, which is brilliant to see, because those two as coaches, they're brilliant.
Because it's not just about systems and tactics and all that sort of stuff. It is about actually the characters that you have in the dressing room and how personalities work with each other. And I think that's something they've done very well, actually. Or they've got a good blend. There's different characters in there, and they all get on so well. Is that something that you've observed? Yeah,
100%. Like I said before, I think there's like a real good togetherness. Everyone gets involved in everything, and that's refreshing to see. And that's hard to come by. From my journey through football so far, I've realised that that's so hard to come by, having that togetherness, and especially as a whole group, it's real good, really good.
Now, Jacob, obviously you want to play at the highest level. This club really should be at a high level, quite frankly. We all know that. Is this sort of the club that you feel like you can put roots down? Because I know I've looked at you through your career. You've been at quite a few clubs. You haven't been anywhere really for a long time, apart from, I suppose, Ramsgate at the start.
Yeah.
So could this be a possibility for you? One that you could, this could be your home?
100%. Especially from last season with the fans and everything. Everyone's been brilliant, and the staff around here is a place that I want to be, and I would never come into a situation just for it to be temporary. Like I'll always go with an open mind, and here I'm with an open mind. I want to get a promotion. I want to head in the right direction, and I do love this club and love my time at this club from last season. So that's something I see as a project that we can work towards. And honestly, there'd be nothing better for me than going up to the next league and getting promoted with this team, because I think that'd be brilliant.
Now, Jacob, looking back at your career, I mean, obviously you started at Ramsgate and then you got your move to Crystal Palace. Just tell us about what that was like being at Crystal Palace, the sort of people that you mixed with there, the coaching you got, and the whole experience.
Yeah, I thought it it was probably, in all honesty, it was probably a step too far. But I think it was almost like being in the deep end and then having to swim, like from coming from Ramsgate non-league, and I really did enjoy my time there, where I progressed so much as a player. Whereas I would watch clips and stuff of me at Ramsgate and then see what I do differently after my time at Palace, and it really did teach me a lot. And I had Richard Shaw, who initially signed me, and he was brilliant. He'd always put extra effort into me because he knew that I needed that to get up to the level. And all the lads and everything, it's just a learning curve to be out of your comfort zone and meet new people. And I thought it was a brilliant experience.
Because of course you played for Morecambe, didn't you, in the Football League? You actually did break in off the bench, and I think you were on the bench, weren't you, against Tottenham?
Yeah.
So was that? I'm trying to think. That was after Palace, was it?
That was after Palace. Yeah.
So just talk me through Morecambe. I mean, that was obviously, it couldn't be any further away from Kent.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Just tell us that whole experience.
Yeah, distance-wise, it is long, but it was a step in the right direction. Once again, I learned a lot, and it's more of an adult environment at a high league, whereas Crystal Palace was 23. So I took things from both experiences, but I thought that was a brilliant experience. Once again, you get to grow as a person. It's the first time that I was living on my own, and that's another thing that you have to adapt to. And I thought it was a brilliant experience. Once again, I had Stephen Robinson, and he was a brilliant coach, but unfortunately he got an opportunity at St Mirren and left to go to St Mirren, which brought Derek Adams in. But to be fair, he gave me my debut. But yeah, it was brilliant, and especially like the Tottenham experience. Nothing like that. That was quite special. And me, I'm a Tottenham fan, so that was unbelievable. Absolutely, like that's a special day.
So did you get to meet any of the Tottenham players? Yeah.
Met Harry Kane, Dele Alli. I got Tanganga's shirt, which was good. That's on the frame. Met quite a few players. They brought a strong team. So you had like Lucas Moura. Loads of players.
Yeah, what do you learn when you're sitting on the bench watching that? Because seeing them in real time, as I know from my job, it's very different to watching it on TV. Actually.
Yeah. I think what it is you get to a certain level and the basics are done so much sharper, but then on top of that, everyone has their individual flair that they can add to the team. So from watching the Tottenham players, it's like you're just thinking they're on another level.
So obviously, Jacob, the plan is for Dover to get promoted this season. It's early in the season, so we're being very cautious about it. It's just a form table still. We keep saying that. We're a quarter of the way through the season. I always think you've got to get halfway through before you get a proper look at it.
Yeah.
But do you really think this team can get promoted this season automatically?
100%. I've seen over the past few games, once again, that togetherness, like that's so important when it gets to the dying stages of the game and you're 1-0 up or it's 0-0, like it's having that togetherness, like come on boys, like we are going to get a result here, and it is about form as well. It's about consistently keeping clean sheets. That's the standards that we've got to keep, and I think it's really positive, and they've played some big games, even like Folkestone, that's a big game, but come out the other end with a win away from home and a clean sheet. So we need to just keep our standards high and then move forward.
I have to say, I thought that was a statement win, because not only is it against your biggest rivals, it's away from home. And, we went into this season having not won a Kent derby for God knows how long.
Yeah.
We've ticked that one off, and now we've gone and beaten Folkestone away, and we're top of the league, and we're keeping clean sheets.
Yeah. It's such a positive. And compare it to last season, like I said, there's just a different feel about the club, and it's just heading in the right direction. And you'd be silly not to want to be a part of that. I'm definitely happy with how everything's moving, and I think all the lads are as well.
Mega.
News team.
Admiral Jet.
Andrews.
WJ Farrier.
Ballinger Scaffolding.
East Kent Foods.
Blazing Donkey.
Harbour Print.
Cactus Graphics.
Bayliss.
Exclusive Household.
Howden's Insurance.
Hollis Motors.
Canacol Utilities.
Motus.
Rauyon Van Hire.
Eurolink.
M&T Plumbing.
Kent County Council. Steers.
Pure Cleaning.
And of course you, the Dover fans, because whether you're picking the team,
Running the club.
Creating chances.
Making saves. Holding the ball up. Bombing down the flanks.
Taking long throws.
Taking set pieces.
Working hard for the team.
Scoring.
Goals.
we couldn't do it without you.
Thank you. Come on, you guys.